Half a day and welcome to Coffee with the Candidate. I'm Kate Baltazar Dodge, your host, and I'm very pleased to be joined today by Republican senatorial candidate Sandra Seau. Half a day, Sandra.
Half a day. Thank you for having me on.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Thank you so much for making the time. We're just going to get right down into the questions now. Sandra, I know you've probably been asked this several times, and but for our viewers, if you could just let us know, why are you running for office?
The reason why I'm running for office is to be the voice of our people. You know, there's a lot of issues here on Guam, and I knew there was issues before I even moved here 8 years ago. And then when I come to Guam, I see the issues. And then when COVID happened, I had it. I had enough. You know, life on Guam could be so much better for the people of our island, and that's why I'm running for the 36th Guam legislature.
All right, thank you. So Sandra, if you are elected to the 36th Guam legislature, what would your first legislative initiative be?
I would be working in order to start for a better Guam. It's hard because now COVID is here. I would start from the inside out. We need to start auditing these agencies and looking at the budgets, especially now with COVID. You know, our island is going to be hurting. So that's the first thing I'm going to be doing.
You mentioned the budget. So what are your ideas about the better management of government funds so that Guam does not face the threat of a government shutdown or layoffs? What are your ideas about that?
So what are my ideas about the budget?
Yes. What are your thoughts about what you could contribute to ensure that the government of Guam doesn't face a shutdown or layoffs of employees?
Okay, I'm not about the laying off of employees, but we have to see where all our money is going, because apparently it's being misappropriated in different agencies. As far as the government of Guam, I'm not talking about layoffs, but I'm talking about cutting payroll for those who are salaried. Especially, you know, there's a lot of high paid people within the government of Guam, and they can, especially during this time of COVID, they can't afford to take a pay cut. I mean, you know, if apparently the rest of our island is making minimum wage, you know, and trying to survive, they could take a pay cut and be just like the rest of us here on the island.
Mm-hmm. Is there an agency in particular that you could give an example of, maybe, that is using too much general fund revenue? What reforms might you make to that?
Is there any one agency that went? I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
Say that again.
No worries. So is there a certain government agency, for example, that sticks out in your mind that might need to have reform in terms of trimming the fat? And in your mind, are they using too much general fund money?
You know, I really haven't, well, I've only glanced over the budget that's being presented, but I'm really, really interested in tax and rev and seeing where, you know, all the money coming in and going out, because, you know, everybody on island and businesses pay taxes. And I don't understand why it takes so long to pay the people of our island when taxes are due back to them. You know, they take the money, but yet when it's time, it takes months, and it shouldn't. And I don't understand how in the States, you know, people get paid taxes within 7 to 10 days, and here the law is 6 months, you know. And mm, um, what's her name, Miss Shimizu or something, that over at Tax and Rev, she mentions, you know, they're just waiting for money to come in, and I'm like, well, first of all, I mean, where's the money coming in from right now? And why do we have to wait for money to come in? You know, we're misappropriating our money and overspending, I feel like.
Okay. Um, so um, many of our island residents, even before the pandemic, expressed just a great outcry over the cost of living on Guam. What are your ideas about um, addressing the rising cost of living on our island?
Can you say that again? Because you were sort of breaking up.
Oh, sure. Excuse me. What would you do to address the rising cost of living on our island?
That is an issue, and I've talked about this a couple of times. The rising cost, you know, the cost of living here does not make sense. I mean, I know people have customs and they tend to live together till either join the military or get married and move out or whatever. But there are several families that they can't afford to move out. They all live together. Um, the cost of just getting an apartment is expensive, and that's due to the military and their BAH. And that has to be addressed, because just they get what, $2,200 or something like that in BAH. The majority of our island are military related, and they know how much these military personnel get paid. And we need to work and get that lowered, because that hurts the people of our island. Um,
Sandra, if you,
um,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
and you know, gosh, I'm used to the prices that are out there, but you know, people need to pay to live in an apartment or a house. They have to pay for power, and power is really expensive here. And food and gas, you know, it's just hard for the people of our island to live on minimum wage. And that's why a lot of people here on island are on SNAP and all these kinds of assistance. And our people, you know, that is a stepping stone. It should be a stepping stone for our people. It shouldn't be a way of living, but because of the cost of living here, you know, that's what they do.
Okay. If you were elected to the 36th Guam legislature, but not in the majority party, what would you do to negotiate around party lines to move your initiatives forward?
Well, of course, you have to work the bill you're going to present, right? You have to try to convince people that what you're presenting is the right thing for the people of our island. Yeah.
Okay. Sandra, just in closing, what's the last thing you would say in terms of how you stand out among the slate of the other candidates out there?
How do I feel I stand out?
Mhm.
Oh, well, I don't know. I feel good. And I hope, you know, I'm getting out there. Apparently I am, because when I go out to places, people recognize me even with my face mask on. But I hope I stand out, because this making it into the 36 Guam legislature does mean a lot to me. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What, just going further, I know that you just mentioned it means a lot to you. What would you change, if anything, that has happened in this current legislature? Is there anything you would change about what's happening in this current legislature?
I would be, what would I change if I make it in?
Yes.
I would actually be working for the people of Rhode Island and, yeah, making sure, the right decisions are made for the people of Rhode Island and not be persuaded by others, even though, I don't believe in what they're presenting. It has to be, for the best interest of our people. And that's not going on right now,
Mhm. I see that you're very emotional about that, and passion and emotion certainly. Um, you're the first interviewee I've had who has exhibited this kind of emotion and passion. So I do thank you for just being the most authentic version of yourself. Um,
Yeah, and I try not to.
do you have a message for the voters?
Sure. A message to the voters, yes. My name is Sandra Seau, and I am number 14 on the Republican ballot. I would really appreciate your vote. Running for the 36th Guam legislature means so much to me. Guam could be such a better place for our island. A lot of people don't know, but I am a victim of family violence, and I'm still going through the system right now because I attend everything. I attend every hearing and everything like that. And Guam is too small, for me. But one day I realized that when COVID was happening, I was leaving my house and I realized, since I was raised in the States and I lived in the States, worked there, and with all the experience I have, I said, I can't leave the people of my island like this, How can I be proud of myself knowing that I can help? So that's why I'm running, because I want to be proud. I mean, how can people be proud of Guam knowing all of the things that is happening here,
Mhm.
So that's why I'm running, and I really do hope that I get one of your 15 votes this upcoming election.
Thank you very much, Republican candidate for Senator, Sandra Seau. Thanks for sitting down with us virtually for this interview today.
Thank you for having me on.
Thank you so much. Thanks for tuning in, Coffee with a Candidate. Stay tuned for more.